There comes a point in life where you just don't understand, or maybe, yeah, there comes a point where I don't know if it's just me, but I feel like there's a point where you come into life and you don't understand what's happening, or you don't understand what's going on. Usually, it's easy to go with the flow, but sometimes you can't tell the difference between red and green. Stop or go, as I've mentioned in one of my videos before. Um, there's so many situations that can give you a setback, and you just have to identify um, with that situation through your experience. It's many things that you have done in life and many things that you haven't, as in many routes that you have taken and many routes that you didn't. But if you're the type of person where you've been down every road, but you just didn't stay, then I would say you're in my situation right now. You're going through what I'm going through right now. It's hard to make room for something long term. No, it's easy. It's easy for something to be long term, but what's hard is to cut that short by making yourself available to what's temporary. When you finally feel like you're in a place of contentment, it's not so easy for you to step out of that feeling or out of that place. But then it's not hard either. It's not hard to um but it's not easy to stay either in that place of contentment. It's not that you don't want more, but it's more about being unsure. When you're unsure about life, or you're unsure about something, you feel okay, but at the same time you feel as you would if you were to look back. You feel as though something needs done, something needs fixed, something needs tampered with, something needs shifted, something needs to be messed with in order for you to feel like your normal self again. So I would say that kind of explains a personality trait. Always feeling like you need to do something or do more when you feel as though, when you know as though you're doing less. You're not putting too much into anything, so therefore you're feeling like you have to do something to form some type of path in the middle. So like you got this over here, you got that over there. Well, you got this and you got that, but you don't have space. Or maybe you do. Um, I feel like everything in life, some things in life is just a reflection of the path that you're supposed to be on. This is the path that you're supposed to be on, but you're you're on, yeah, you're this is the path you're supposed to be on. And I don't know, it's kind of different. It's hard to really explain what I'm talking about right now. So you can have so many things that reveal to you, so many things that's coming to you in your life, and you're you're starting to think that, or you see it for what it is, and it's like, this is supposed to be my life. What I'm doing is supposed to be my life, but I'm not living this life. So therefore, I have to form a wedge. I have to form some type of wedge in between the life I'm supposed to live and the life now. Because my life now is not where what is not what's happening to me. I mean, what my life now isn't what it seemed to be. You know, sometimes you only receive pieces pieces of that life that you're supposed to be living, but these pieces are to the full. It's a full vision, a full puzzle, but you're receiving small little pieces and that's the thing, you don't even know if there is an until, or if you're going to ever get the full puzzle. So you don't know if you're going to get this full puzzle. So you're just getting these pieces, and it kind of feels like something's missing because there's no wedge. So that's what I said when I said that you have this over here, you have this, but then you don't have anything to wedge it um and divide. But maybe it's not meant to be that way. But at the same time, it just has you think like, um I don't know, something like that though. I guess it's time, you know. These pieces that you're receiving are time until you can fully receive, or you're in the position to where now you can become whole. You can have what's coming to you fully. It's kind of like settling in a way. You have no other choice but to settle, so you receive all these things. Um, I don't know. It's kind of like settling, I guess. And that's another thing. Like that's what I'm saying. It's so many ways that life just reflects onto you or projects onto you what's supposed to be. Basically, it can be a test as well. Some things are tests just to see if you're ready. If you can settle for a specific lifestyle, then it shows it kind of um makes it easier for life to read your intent. I feel like life now, it's kind of hard for the world or anything naturally to actually um find um figure out our intention. How the world has interfered or intervened with our purpose and our original, you know, destiny. World, man made, all of these things have interfered with that. So therefore, it's hard to it's hard for nature itself, because when you think of destiny, you think of nature naturally. Naturally, what's supposed to happen to you, naturally, your destiny. So it's hard for your intent to be found out by the world. It's hard to find your intent. It's hard to connect with your intent when you have so many things that just doesn't that interferes with that connection, that alignment. We're so out of alignment. We're out of alignment. Our vibration naturally is now being tampered with, or our vibration and frequency is now being, identified as material things. So therefore, what's your destiny? How will you ever find your destiny but in a new life? If reincarnation was real, how will you ever figure out your true destiny now in this life when you have so many things that's interfering? So maybe, um, maybe the world is becoming identified as materialistic. Not with things such as cloths and this and that. I mean technical. You know, you see all of these, um, like you go outside and you just look at nature, instead of going in, well, you know how you roll it. I'm gonna just put it this way. You know how you roll up a blunt. You roll up a blunt. Um, and that's how a lot of people get their spiritual. They feel real spiritual. You can just tell who's spiritual. They're spiritual because they're doing these things. Not everybody is just rolling up a blunt just for the sake of it. I feel like anybody who's rolling up a blunt, who's smoking this and smoking that, doing messing with the herbs physically. They're in touch, they're in sync. They have that spiritual um they have something spiritual about them. I don't know if it's because they're curious. It could be curious. um so yeah, I got led off topic. Everything that I was just saying just kind of went like, no. But I got let off topic, but what I was saying was I was basically trying to put the world into a technical form. So instead of going out here and buying this weed, or instead of going out here and buying this tobacco, instead of going out here and getting some herbs to um help your healing process, doing all of that, doing it with physically with your hands, touching and this and that, technically you can receive the same thing. So I'm like, maybe maybe nature is finding its way into worldly, into this world through man-made creation just so that it can have that once found connection with the host again. Because we are the host of manifestation. Manifestation. What's manifestation? Man and manifestation, you man creation, manifestation. So yeah. Um so that's kind of where I'm at right now. I'm trying to just um sometimes you just gotta sit down and you just gotta reflect on mentally gather everything and just figure out what you need to do or how to go about it. Some things now I'm understanding, like when I was before, like a while ago, I was at a point where I always seen a stop sign, you know, and I wasn't in the position I'm in now. I was in a whole different position. I was a whole different person at that time, but I always seen that red stop sign. And it always stood out to me. That's the thing, when something stands out to you and you're not really looking, but it's standing out to you to the point where you getting aggravated. Like, why do I keep, why am I being bothered by this red stop sign or the word stop? Why am I being bothered so much by this? Why is it bothering me to the point where I just want to go, I just want to look away, to where I feel I wish the world was freaking in the dark so that I wouldn't have to see this word, or I don't have to see this color, and it's not really about the color to me. Like when you stop at a red light or something, it's really not about the color. The color is it's more of a reaction to the word stop. So when I see the word stop, like I said, I go out there and it just aggravates me because I feel like it's speaking directly to me. And maybe this was a message leading up to now, because now I just feel like that word is more of a reaction now in my place, in my position. Like some things, it's just it turns into a feeling. If you don't acknowledge it, like you're just looking at it and you're trying to resist the message, you're trying to resist it, and you just like, but then it turns into a feeling. That's how you know it's actually something that you need to pay attention to, because now you're starting to feel aggravated or bothered by just something that's just there. You have no control over, and it's just there. You can't do anything about it. You can't stop seeing it. You're going to go outside and you're going to see it. You're going to it's going to be there. Something that's out of your control. And this eventually turns into a feeling, like, sorry, you start to get aggravated and annoyed. Like, you just don't want to see it no more, because you just feel like you don't want to be stopped. You don't want to stop, but eventually you will get the message whether you want it or not. You will receive whether you want it or not. And that's just how life is. And that's what karma is. That's what doing nature naturally. Anything that's naturally for you will find you through energy. And there was this one movie I was watching. She was like Yeah, spirits can tamper with things. You know, spirits things can become things and this and that. And I was like, well, I kind of don't believe that because spirits didn't come from a thing. You know, spirits didn't come from anything. And at the same time, I kind of don't feel like, I feel like the only energy, but then that's what I'm saying. That's what, see, it's going back to what I said about things to where I feel like now nature is, or whatever, yeah, nature, um, and energy is trying to find the host again. So in pursuing that, maybe now spirits can't does have that power to interfere with technology. I mean, interfere with things. Now, I'm gonna say technology. I'm just say things. You know, they can um tamper with things now. You know, it came to that point because, you know, by any means, you know. That's why people should feel very special because with everything and everything that's happening, it's all happening for a reason. If you're lost right now, I feel like you're going to be found, regardless if you want to be or not, because if you don't feel loved, you are loved. If it's not by, you know, the one you want it to be by, just know it's, it's elsewhere. That love for you is always going to be there. You know, no matter what you think, there is love for you. You are a heart in this world. And this world is very big. So therefore, wherever your heart you are, you know, you're a heart. Um, so I was gonna add to that. I was gonna say something else, but I kind of forgot. Um, yeah, I still didn't receive no clarity, but I feel like maybe that was just a message that needed to be spoken. I don't know what else to say. I was going to say something, but I forgot. Like that topic was, you know, going somewhere else, and I was gonna go ahead and hop on that train and go ahead and get that message too. But um, maybe a passenger. It stopped for a passenger, and maybe, you know, I don't know. Now I'm just rambling. Don't listen. Don't listen right now because I don't know where I'm going with that. But I feel like I said what I had to say. Um, hold on. It's hard to let go. I feel like that's where I'm at. You know, you feel like you need to put yourself in certain situations so that you can have that connection that you once did. And it's hard to let go because it's like if you let go of this, then you'll be letting go of everything else. So then you take yourself out of the equation just so you can feel that way or you can get back what you had before. But that's the perks that comes with growing up, you know, being mature and settling for what you have and know, and what you have is enough. It's like your past or who you where you found that trust is kind of nudging at you now, or where you found that place of where everything just seemed to be coming together. There's always something that's going to intrude on that. There's always some type of intrusion. Um, when you're coming to the end of a certain lifestyle or a plan, it's God's doing from going forward. I can only say it's God's doing. So what's meant for you will happen regardless, you know. And it's very scary and it's a fearful feeling. But this is where you're at a point where it's about choosing, and even if you, and that's the thing, you may not even have a choice in the situation, but you'll know whether you'll have a choice or not when that time comes. But the choice would be stepping away for good, for better, or for worse.